off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
All right. Melting faces.
That's awesome.
We have an intro now.
Yay!
We have to figure out
That's
how
awesome.
to utilize it right.
I just picture you going like this in the background. Wicka, wicka, wicka.
That was more me going today, Junior. It was super hard though. I did it in like an hour, something today. And hey guys, welcome everybody.
Yes, what's going on, everyone?
We have to laugh at the intro and how that went, but
I love it.
It was really hard because in Final Cut, when you do the, I was just doing it straight into there because I'm like, man, this like track needs something else. It's kind of just boring.
Sure.
And so I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, let's just see what happens.
I hope your sons were like
in an like when you say it, then you hear yourself after, and so like when you're doing the monitor mode, it's so weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what the beat is anymore.
I hope your kids were like in the background, like taking video of you, like yelling at the microphone.
Probably. They're probably like, what was he saying in there? I made them come in and at least approve it.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, I put on that super monster voice and all that just to take it old school.
That's awesome. That is too awesome.
So, yeah.
I love it.
We have a quick intro now. We'll have to see if AI, ChatGPT, I should have had them write a song for it.
Oh.
Have AI do it. And then I was thinking AI could maybe even do Jib Jab.
You know, you could have AI write the song, and then you could remember in simple text in the Mac, you could have whoever speak it back.
Oh,
if you could just have it speak it back in simple text and then do some auto-tune move. Yeah. Yes.
Robotic voice. Well, I was trying robot voices and it just was, it didn't work. So that's when I went to the monster voice.
I need to find a way to do a voice disguiser. You know, like when you're interviewing narcos.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's a pitch shifter you can use to usually drop in on stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then you can really just tweak it like crazy with that.
I'll have to play around with that because that's what I want to do. I want to, my idea behind that. I want to change that voice down. So
yeah, you pitch shift it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it before.
What's up, Guru RCs?
And then we'll drop their pitch back down, like because it'll make it too high pitch as we speed up. Because like you got a minute, like a 60-second like commercial spot, and you're like, you talk too slow.
Yep.
Speed it up, and then you got to make their voice like pitch back down to normal. So we cheat that stuff. Lefty is in the house.
Our Art Hofter said could use the King voice. There you go.
Oh,
some
that
twang to
good.
it.
I didn't even think about that. People are saying they missed it. I'll have to rewatch. Ads got me. We can just play the intro again.
Why not?
Let's just cue it up again.
Roll it.
Tonight we have an intro. You guys are gonna have to watch this all night long.
We'll critique it all the way through.
Boom.
Talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
And he'll fade back in.
I love it.
Say we need to get it. We need to get it there.
That was the whole idea behind the freestyle battle. DJ Tony in the house on the ones and twos.
Yeah, I was just like at that point today where I'm like, we need a stinking intro. Like I should have been working. I'm so good into the USDE video, but I'm like, I took the last. Well, I was gonna go. So Chris Martin of Martin Guitars, like the 6th person of Martin, I guess now runs a company, is in town at our local guitar shop here. And so I was
Guitar Center.
gonna go. No, well, we have a guitar center. We have something called Firehouse Guitars, which is local, and it's so good. So
Nice.
I took my son to get a bass guitar this afternoon,
Nice.
so he could learn not on my bass guitar when I was watching him almost hit it on things, and I'm like, I'm not gonna play on mine anymore.
Swinging around and hitting the flower
That
pot off.
Thing took me 20 years to get, and you aren't even playing it yet.
Yep.
So we're going to get a cheaper one. So, and a shorter, like they make the short scale ones that are 30 inches long and easier for him to not be like,
yeah,
reaching up here to get those low notes. But so then I saw it. So anyway, I had like this hour of time where I was kind of at a standstill on the USTE. It was going to be a big, like by the end of the day, I wasn't going to be able to get into the next part I needed to get into, just kind of unpacking a lot of interview stuff.
Sure.
So I was like,
it's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
So I went and found a VHS because I know you love the old VHS style stuff.
Oh yeah.
With all yours, and grab that, and then I I literally iPhone videoed my screen of your YouTube videos.
Nice.
And mine, like, because I wasn't even willing to go back through my archives and open all the things.
Yeah.
I went to YouTube and I literally shot them all on here.
Nice.
Airdropped them to my computer, threw them in there because it's going to be crap footage. Anyway.
Yeah, you can't see it.
On it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I love it, dude.
So yeah. Anyway,
super
quick,
awesome.
And then we did the song, and here we are.
That's pretty awesome. I threatened my daughter this weekend. I said, because we were, I'm a saxophone guy, and I'm also a James Brown kind of guy. And we were listening to James Brown, I think it was Sunday morning before church. And then for some reason at church, our worship team played some like funky worship music that had horns in it. And I was like, and she's like, I like this. And I was like, all right, don't make me go up there with my horn, and I'll wear my jumpsuit that's cut out like this all the way down with my gold chain playing my, yeah.
So yeah, you need a vocal processor in the Matt Lewis experience. Yeah, I didn't have anything crazy going on.
Yeah.
Going to Beat the Creek. I don't have time or money. Because I just bought a basic guitar.
Dude, this weekend is so packed with RC stuff, and I can only make one. And right. I might try to make two if one gets done fast enough.
Same day?
Yeah.
Monster trucks and buggy?
Sort of. Well, okay, so Die Hard is opening up the park this weekend, outdoor park.
Okay.
And so they're having a team enduro on Saturday, which is like an enduro race, 6-hour race with, buggy cars. And then I reckon it'll go platinum. Yes, sir. And then Sunday they're having a scale trail event there.
Mm.
And so I'd love to go monster trucking because they're actually got something in my throat. Yep. Still not over this.
I will say cough every time you mute the cough. Just
thank you
for effect.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Sunday there's the monster truck stuff, and they're redoing the course. Ooh. And it's all dirt now.
Nice.
No grass, all dirt. And I'm like, oh baby. So we're definitely going to that because I committed to that a month and a half ago. And we are going to try to race back, but it's a 2-hour drive back.
For the crawler event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm actually we're going to bring some different trucks this time. We're going to bring the 2 LMTs. Off air, I discussed with you how I need to retire my Kingsling body because it's just getting hammered.
Put it on the wall as a memento and get something else. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. So if I have time, I'm going to put the old SMT Gravedigger body on the Kingsling because that's the problem. It's not a problem, but that's the problem that everyone had with the original SMT. Is that it was a green chassis, and what goes with that bright green chassis?
Right. So that's what I was glad they didn't do that with the
kit.
No, if you got Son of a Digger or Grave Digger.
Oh, that's black. Right. It was like that bronze color. Yeah, that black.
They're like a dark gray.
Yeah.
Magnifique, which was a detriment to them selling the kit. because
Yeah.
the kit version of the SMT-10 sold because it was a black chassis.
Right.
And so because they didn't go blue and green with the LMTs, there was
Yeah.
no need for a kit black.
Right. That makes sense.
And
Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put that small SMT body on there, which it should work fine because it's got the bobbed nose on the chassis.
but your wheelbase will seem a little far front, but who cares?
Yeah. And my son's going to be racing that truck anyway because it's easier to dial it down. So,
which
and
we
he's
are going to be talking about. We are going to be starting our freestyle off against each other on here.
Freestyle our faces off.
We're going to freestyle our faces off for the summer.
Yes.
But just no like total points. What do? We'll kind of keep track of 1, 2, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, kind of as I keep taking the wins. And then, but there's like we're not keeping track of points or anything. We're just gonna have fun. Just something to bring each week and let you guys kind of help judge, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll do that.
We'll do a poll.
Run them and then just do a poll.
Yep.
And see what happens.
Yep. It'll be our rap battle.
Yes.
80 style.
Yep.
So right after we run the intro, we'll have to do another intro for it.
Oh, there you go.
Another
80s style monster truck
intro for the monster truck videos.
I have some After Effects templates that I could put together for the monster truck name, whatever we name it, because that are sick. That you've seen the one I have on Instagram. That's the RC Amigos, totally 80s.
Yeah, I love it. The triangles and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like I'm roller skating every time I see it.
Yeah. Clark Kent Silver. KLN says, "Look at that Clark Kent silver swirl." I know it's pretty bad today.
Wow, so 90s. Love it. Dana said about the rap. It was pretty 90s ish. I used to love Young MC back in the day. Cough.
Yeah.
All right. Band Mike said he's guessing I had a bass. My bass is a Fender or Rickenbacker. Both wrong. My bass is, I wish it was a Music Man by Ernie Ball, but mine is a Sterling by Ernie Ball Music Man. So it's the Indonesia-based one, because in the 20 years that I've aged since I wanted the Ernie Ball version, it went from being $1,200 to $2,600, and so mine was still crazy. Even as the Indonesia made one, $900.
Yeah,
and it's actually like exactly the one that they used to make in the US in like 2015 or whatever. So it's I actually like it because before they did all the curves and like made it too sleek.
Sure.
It's still kind of box cut around but yeah, old school style looking.
Love it.
So that's what I have. My son did I bought him a Fender Squire Mustang because the Mustangs are all 30-inch.
Nice.
So
XJ Sports says he found a 1990s Power Wheels Bigfoot in mint condition by the dumpster at work. Picked it up hella quick, he said.
Dude, the Bigfoot, like the ones the kids riding?
You know what would be cool? Is if you took one of those and gutted it and then mounted it to a push lawnmower. So when you're like push lawnmowering your whole yard, it's like you're pushing around Bigfoot.
Dude, they're like kid ride on. Like you could.
I know.
You could do better than that. You could riding lawnmower that thing.
They're not that big. One man's trash, another man's treasure. Nice. Turn it into an RC. You see that? You saw that that spoof that guy did. I tagged you in it of the mini meals on wheels.
Yes.
Yes.
But do you guys think that Whistling Diesel actually made Mad Max 2 a remote control monster truck?
Oh, I didn't see it.
He crushed that like tiny Chinese truck, electric truck. But he's standing outside with like a DJI remote, and he's, like revving it and stuff with the.
No way.
Who else would he let drive it? Would he let somebody else drive it?
Of course. It's camera trickery, my friend. He probably drove it and then jumped out and took video of him B-roll in it.
I mean, it would be a very big risk to rely on radio control for something like that. He had a hard enough time syncing up the transmissions anyway.
I got to do that one of these
Dual
days.
motors.
I did it with a coffin. We've talked about that before, but I got to do like something cool. I should just like we talked about before, buy an old quad and make that into an RC monster truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grindhard Plumbing also has a tiny boat.
Oh
jet
yeah,
boat?
the aluminum one.
Gosh,
So
cool.
Those aluminum boats, you can buy those kits
Yeah,
and build it yourself. I had a guy come to me and ask, he's like, how much would it cost me to buy these files and have you make it for me? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro, this is still a ton of work. Like,
yeah,
you know, you buy the files, I could cut all the material out and then weld it all up, and it's still going to take weeks to finish that boat. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But super sick.
yeah. Everyone's
Super
saying that like it's all smoke and mirrors, but he's crazy enough to do it. If anybody is crazy enough to put a remote control in his monster truck, it's him. It'd be the first one ever at that scale.
Yeah.
But I really don't think so. But the fact that he's faking it is like, he's crazy enough.
Yeah.
He lets enough other things run away on his property.
I was going to say, you got to have a solid fail safe.
Oh, yeah.
On something like that.
Yeah.
Like
or somebody in it to shut it off.
Or an RII or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. He could have somebody inside ready to kill it.
Yeah. Not using a DJI remote for anything but DJI.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was a DJI remote that he was faking with.
People use those a lot for battle bots, the DJI remotes. I don't know why. I don't know why you would use that versus a Spectrum like 12 channel or whatever, but they do.
Yeah. Anyway, that video was freaking hilarious. If you haven't watched it,
I haven't seen
and you
it.
don't mind stuff getting destroyed on video, which some people have a problem with, I've learned.
Yeah.
And then they have a problem with me calling them out for it later.
Really? They were blowing you up about that?
Well, I didn't know that some of them, like, well, one of them I wasn't even talking about, but he was kind of offended by it. But yeah. And so commented about me saying that he was a bleeding heart and whatever. So, yeah.
You see KLN's comment?
What?
Yep. Big time.
What? We need to talk.
You should, because he's got lots of, yep.
What?
I didn't even put that together. I should have put that together weeks ago when we talked about your bass.
It's my favorite bass ever made.
I should have totally put that together.
I've been still looking on. I almost today bought a used short scale one that I found on Facebook for a decent deal. And I'm like, oh, but I wanted a different, like if I'm going to use my son's bass at some point, I wanted a different tone. So
Sure.
it's like, I'll get him a Fender. And
Speaking of Fenders,
sell mine and get an actual Ernie Ball one.
Speaking of Fenders, you've got granite on your counter.
Granite. I have granite behind me in a box.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't have a counter.
I'm just saying. Your
Moving
RC
along the
granite. RC granite.
I've actually got a huge.
What's this? What's all this back there?
I've got a bunch of boxes. It's like Christmas here.
Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot. You told me some of the stuff that you picked up.
Arma, Axial, Losi, Crawler Innovations. I almost turned it around.
Ooh. I need some of that loving.
And then this is our next Amazon cheapo special.
Nice.
Is 14-inch, 17-inch boat.
Do you have any M80s?
Well, I wasn't going to try to go that kind of destruction. I was hoping to just like jump it off of a waterfall or something crazy.
Shotgun.
Like
shotgun. You got to have a BB gun or a pellet gun, right?
I've got an arsenal of things.
Well, I'm just saying, have your kids out there taking target practice on the river.
Sink it that way.
Yeah, dude, that'd be. I'd have a
littering lipos, dude, like into the river.
Now, what you do is you put it on a fishing line, and then you only go one way or the other way. Okay. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. XJ 95 cents. Same thing,
Tanner.
right?
Yeah, now we're talking.
You can get that at the local family farm and home. Blow some stuff up. Yeah, so I got a huge mail call of stuff. We could talk. In fact, let me just show. We'll talk about the granite and why I'm going back to it.
Yes. The Granite is a freaking awesome platform.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you go first on the Granite because I don't want to steal any thunder or tell me more.
It's still one of my favorite basher RCs there are.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people like the bigger, more powerful ones that you have to spend a whole lot more money to go the same speed
Mhm.
and pay more money to fix. You could potentially bend a chassis. Repairs are way more expensive. You have to have more batteries to even get the speed. So you got to spend 6S in batteries. Then you got to double stack batteries or buy a huge 6S battery, which is only useful for 6S things then.
Right.
I don't enjoy it. I don't like doing the double battery thing. It's just, it keeps me from wanting to really run them because I don't know why. There's something in my brain that's just like, this is more work than I want to deal with.
Yeah. It's funny. There's something
up a 3S and gone.
Yeah. It's funny because there's something about that where I feel like double stacking batteries, it seems so inefficient. Like it kills me sometimes because I'm like, well, there goes 2 batteries right there. You know what I mean?
Right. Cough. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's something about it. If I can go 50 miles an hour with a 3S battery, why should I do 6S batteries to go 50 miles an hour?
Yeah.
I get the people that are taking them and turning them into speed cars and doing other stuff, but when I'm just going to rip in my backyard and I don't need a 6S Creighton to launch and whatever. There's just something about the Granite that's just super fun. You don't need like anything to help control it. It's very easy to steer. It's
indestructible.
You just take away all of these like extra things and just go have fun, and they drive fantastic.
Super.
They're like little truggies.
Yep. They are indestructible.
Come with it. I don't even change them. Like so many people change them, but that's when you start destroying stuff. Like you don't have to invest anything extra in that.
Yeah.
Except the RPM arms that I have over here.
See, I never put RPM arm on mine. Mine are still stock. And well, I have the old version, so the input gear had to change. Or the input shaft when I went brushless had to change. And then I had to change the servo. But I mean, the way that thing was taking a beating, it's like no stock servo would have survived on that.
But I ran mine stock servo for a long time, dude.
Oh, I did with mine too. 100%.
Yeah. In fact, my Big Rock is still stock. It's stock everything, stock plastic arms, everything. The only thing that I run into with them is, and if you know it, you take it apart the second you get it, pull off the drive shafts, Loctite that screw that goes into that.
I never had a problem with mine.
It'll eventually back out. It'll stay inside there, so you won't lose anything. You'll still be able to just go home, take it apart, screw it back on.
Yeah.
Like your wheel will fly off and you think it broke.
Right.
But just the whole assembly comes off and the screw's still inside the axle. So when you get home, you take the axle apart and you just Loctite that screw and put it back on, and it's awesome. So but yeah, I mean, they've been indestructible. The one that I had an issue with, the only one, and I know people say the 3S Spectrum motors can be junk with the bearings or whatever. Only if I overheat it. There's one of them that I just ran pack after pack, and I overheated it, and it melted stuff and did a whole bunch of damage.
Yeah.
All of the rest of them, I've never changed.
I'm in a weird spot. Yeah, I'm in a weird spot with mine because mine is so clapped out. So mine came with the first version.
Not Spectrum. Yours is Arma original motor.
Yeah. Right? No. Mine's just Amazon cheap brushless motor.
Oh, okay. So yours was a brushed to start?
Mine was Omega.
Okay.
To start. And so what I'm running into problems with is that it was first generation, so the shocks sucked. And the first generation, they were just...
all of them kind of do. But I just put them back on because they're cheap.
Well, yeah, and so I actually have old school T-Max shocks on mine,
Okay.
like old school ones, which are okay, but they're not great. But all my like ball ends and stuff are super
Just super
sloppy.
sloppy at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, super sloppy. So now
Well,
I'm
they
at that.
chassis slap. They do all this stuff, but who cares?
Oh yeah, well, and so for me, like, and my body is like nothing left, and so it's like, okay, by the time I buy all new links, all new shocks, and a new body, I could probably just buy another one because they're so cheap. You know what I mean? Like, even though the parts aren't expensive, it's like, where do you stop it?
Yeah.
Tony's
I'm
stuck
looking at the
reading.
comments here, just to not leave too many behind. Somebody was asking about a 10 scale crawler. Man, there's so many that are good. I love the new. I mean, the Vanquish RTR is fantastic.
Yeah.
The new elements are great. I mean, the STX 10.3 right now for $300 for the Bronco
That's
is a
a,
killer deal. That's what's sitting in that box right there. I couldn't even.
and that's the one with all the different linkages and stuff, right? The shiftable transmission.
Yeah.
That's crazy for that
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Crazy for that price. Like,
Dig and all that stuff that it does. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good price for that.
So lots of stuff going on with it. Awesome, licensed, the little opening side little door thing, like caged. It's pretty cool. Back to basics is sometimes when you have the most fun, right, Alex? I think so. David Schwartz still stuck on salad axle. So are we. That's why we're doing the monster truck
Yep.
event. But I had to go back to it because I'm getting rid of a few of my bashers that I have, and so I was gonna get it. I'm gonna fix up my Vortex because it's still a bit beat after the actually the Vortex is good. But I stole the slipper and the whole assembly out of the Big Rock to throw in there at 4th of July when we were doing the fireworks last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's missing, the Big Rock is missing parts. So I have parts to fix it. So I'm going to get all those running so when their friends come over, they can just 3S battle with those and Sentins. And we'll have like 2 Sentins and then Vortex, Big Rock, Granite, and they can just charge a bunch of 3S batteries and have a blast.
Yeah. Those are awesome.
So
yeah,
anyway,
I know
you have one. It's a solid platform, easy to work on, cheap to fix.
Yeah, like I said, I've never busted anything big time on it. The only reason why I replaced the input shaft is because the hobby shop at the time was like, buy it now when you're putting the motor in because it's gonna break. So just deal with it. Like, and so I did, and I haven't had a problem since. So it was good.
Arma fanboy, what happened to OMG RC? Did he go out of business? I don't know. I honestly, I watch live streams now a lot on Facebook. I watch your videos. I need to watch. I saw you just posted about your monster truck thing. I try to watch whatever I can, but my feed does not get populated with them as much anymore because I get like base tutorials and all this other stuff, that I've been trying to use YouTube to learn. And yeah, so
mine's filled with conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
I watch.
You
ever see the Y Files?
No,
it's pretty good. It's good.
Really,
I like it. Yeah,
mine now has like police taking people out, like when they go in. I watched one, and now that's like all that shows up.
I know.
And it's like, gosh, what algorithm? But no, honestly, it's fishing and base stuff, a lot of it, and then RC.
Yep.
But he just did a lot of live streams, and they never populated my feed for some reason because I didn't watch them enough. Trailer trash
in the house. Earth is likely flat, guys. Just saying. Just saying.
So anybody else, let us know. The other guy I was wondering about was the British guy that was living in the U.S. in California for a while. Rich. What was his channel name? He hasn't been around for a while. He moved to the East Coast again.
Oh, is he the drift guy? Oh, he wasn't Drift Guy, but he. I know who you're talking about.
He would do a whole bunch of like unboxings and tests,
Yep.
and
Yep.
had a
Yep.
Venom banner in the background.
Yep.
Man.
I don't know.
Anyway,
And
yeah. So I'm curious. There's certain people that have come and gone, and
well, I had this conversation with KLN today, and it's interesting because Instagram is. I haven't been giving it a lot of time. Like I've just been kind of giving it seconds and kind of doing my thing. But we were talking because the big accounts. There you go.
Drifting Maniac. Yep.
The big accounts are getting the same kind of plays that our account, like my size account, is getting right now. And mine's
On
a
Instagram.
decent, yeah, mine's a decent size account, but it's and then I started. So I did the wild thing. I don't know if you ever do this. Do you ever audit stuff, like audit Instagram or audit YouTube, and kind of just go through and like do any kind of nerd crunching?
No,
Oh.
none of it matters to me, honestly.
I'm
the worst businessman possible. Like,
well, I do
I'm
just for like,
disappointed.
I do it for like trend spotting, just to kind of see
Okay.
what's going on,
Well,
And
as you read in the description, I'm not much about trends. I like my Crocs. I got my slip-on Columbia fishing PFG shoes.
Yep. Well, what I was noticing is that there's starting to be a big gap between influencers and people that just post right now in the RC community. I don't think there's many influencers out there anymore, especially on Instagram. Like most everyone's kind of doing the same thing. Not many people are doing unboxings or doing that kind of, YouTube-y stuff.
I never loved that Instagram went to video, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, you'll love this though. They're starting to, if you go through, take a look, audit your feed and count
Pictures are doing good again.
Yeah, I was gonna say count how many pictures are coming up on your feed.
Pictures are doing good again.
Yep. So it's interesting because I'm looking at that and then I'm looking at like YouTube. I am a guppy still when it comes to YouTube, but the kind of content that's out there is different, because
I'm bummed that YouTube took the bait. Like TikTok haven't fully proven themselves as in the monetizable aspect of things.
Yeah.
And they're trying to follow suit for something that it may get views, and the views are tough because they're so quick and people watch it repopulates so quickly. You could watch it 10 times, not even looking. You stop to talk to somebody and it just keeps
that drives me crazy
flipping, through. But yeah, I hated the second that YouTube kind of bought into that because the long form is what I enjoy about YouTube. I don't go to the other ones.
Well,
I get to work and I turn on YouTube and I listen.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up being more in that 3 to 5 to 10 minute range when it comes to my videos from now on, because I even thought about doing short, like 1.5-minute videos just to do because to me, I like doing those. They're easy. It's kind of a lot of work for 1.5 minutes, but once you get a system down, it's not that bad. And I was joking. I think I might make a playlist called My Daisy Dukes or something like that and just because they're short, long form, I guess.
Yep.
So I don't know, but it's interesting looking at what's out there, and looking at who's getting a lot of playtime and what's getting a lot of playtime. Because originally, we were talking about how monster trucks and minis are getting a lot of playtime, but then when you look at the different stuff out there, they're not really getting much. They're kind of populating because people are doing them, but they're not getting many more views than anything else. So it's kind of interesting, kind of seeing where that goes. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna, like I said, kind of stick to that.
Videoing a sandbox went crazy.
Right. Yep.
But sometimes it's for the wrong reason. It's people being like, dude, look at these dudes just standing around, a bunch of dudes around a sandbox, like. It doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's not necessarily beneficial to the hobby. And so it's really what you're wanting to do with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And I think that's also one of the things. People Choice said something lot of people stopped trying to chase that influencer thing. And I think the idea, the thing about Instagram and Meta slowing their roll and stopping paying people is going to make a big difference on that.
Yeah, I don't get anything from Instagram anymore. There's
Yep.
Which is crazy because I just did super good with Instagram right before it went.
Yep.
But I don't know how they get ads in it. Like, they're not sticking ads in my video, so it's just holding people on, but it's not necessarily scrolling them through to other
on
ads.
your feed, though. When you look at other people's feeds, there's ads now in people's feeds.
Yeah.
And that drives me
They
crazy
click in.
because I'm like, if you're on my feed, I should be getting a cut of that AdSense. Like if you're putting ads in my feed while people are
Right.
looking.
It's not in your main home scroll. Yeah.
Right.
They're bearing it right in your actual pictures and stuff.
No, they're in the home scroll. Like once they click on a picture and they start scrolling, like
But it's in your pictures at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, that doesn't seem to be right. You know, if they're
they didn't have to promise it. You put it into their platform that has their
sure.
stuff in it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just guess
So-
on principle, if they were paying on views for reels to some people, then why not pay for ads when they're populating ads that have
But that's why YouTube has people willing to spend time making quality stuff for them.
100%? Yeah.
Is because they know that there's a potential that they're basically like a TV station or anything else where you're bringing in an audio. I mean, you're looking at, we watched that Slap That Bass guy. Hilarious, by the way. Great editing, whatever. It's just him talking and stretching the screen and doing all this crazy stuff. But so I can't think of the guy's name offhand, but he always just slap that bass and like he's got an accent, like European, Eastern European. And so anyway, yeah, it's hilarious. But like 10 million followers or 8 million followers for whatever he's doing.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like they're getting views of what, when you actually look at now and you look at television, how many views they pull in, and you're talking like 1 million.
Yeah.
Like these YouTube videos are getting 1 million views on like Vin Diesel on them.
Yeah.
Per thing that they put up weekly, you know, like it ain't different.
Yep.
And so
what's interesting, I'd be interested to see the metrics because like I was looking at LVC, if you're watching this, you have great content. And he's got 130,000 or not subs, but followers on Instagram. I went and audited his page. What's hitting on his page, right? And because you know, if I imitate him, I'm gonna get big or whatever. I looked at it, and it's like every 7th video or reel gets hot, and the rest of them are like under 10,000 views. And to me, I'm like, right now it looks like to me 5,000 to 8,000 views is a good video. Anything over 10,000 views is like, it's not viral, but it's like, that's a hot video in Instagram these days. And people are doing it. It's just not it's not super consistent. Running events and producing good content for the YouTube channel. Yeah. So that's what so I had talked to you about this a couple months ago that I'm going to try to hit 2 events a month, at least 1 event, but I'm going to try to go for 2 events a month because I want to start showcasing what these people are doing out there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've been doing the racing thing and taking videos of the racing thing. Crawling's going to...
People send me Troy's stuff, by the way. So keep going. But I just wanted to say that while his was up there.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, dude, have you seen what they're doing in Colorado? But go ahead, keep going.
No, but I mean, I just want to kind of bring light to the scene of what's going on out there. It's a little tough because, you know, at that point you turn into like a media man versus going out and playing, and and I mean, sure, you get this. You don't get to play as much when you're lugging cameras around and taking video and then, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's still fun and it's cool to showcase what's out there because, you know, who knows. I've got to get better about about sharing my stuff to people that will share it in Facebook because that's where a lot of the people are. And unfortunately,
Earl, if you guys haven't seen his channel, Earl Moorhead has a really solid channel. He goes crazy with his builds. Cough, by the way.
Yeah.
Missed it.
Yep.
Really, really detailed. I mean, he takes everything he touches to the next level with upgrades and
yep.
tests and going nuts with them. And he's got an awesome place to run them. He's been doing races with his son. It's been super fun. The way that he's kind of taken it and diverted off in that as well.
Yeah.
I know my channel's changed. It keeps changing. Partly because I don't want to be only just doing influencer stuff where it's like, this is what they want me to do, like talk about. I mean, you don't take on the giant.
Well, and it's kind of fun,
and influence.
And I think it's fun to show people what happens when you get outside and you get out there and you start interacting with people. And, I think everyone was so like bent on stuck in the house stuff a while ago. And now it's like, well, let's get out and actually show people.
But even still, you could be out by yourself and you'd see a lot of people going out and running on their own. And so that was part of drove the hobby to another level during that time. But yeah, I mean, we've just taken on a new thing here with different new hobbies too, with fishing and, my kids getting into music, and then that restarting, like I studied music. People may or may not know that, but that's why I studied in college. One of the things I studied, I double majored. So, but yeah, so I've gotten out of it since we moved to Michigan. I hadn't touched anything for a year musically, and then gotten back into that. Fishing is a new thing. And then we started the store at the same time. So like so much of everything else in my life changed around RC, even the way that RC works. Like half of my time is answering comments and questions and things on the back end that keep me away from doing videos, which I don't mind. Like the influence of what I hoped to do with the YouTube in the first place was to bring more people into the hobby. That goal hasn't changed, and the reason behind it hasn't changed. That I think it's very therapeutic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not all about making the videos for me anymore, like it was at one time. Being that was my job as well, was video production, and it's just different. So
no, I get that for sure. And I think just the scene's changing. I think I don't want to knock on the scene at all, but I think the crawler scene is kind of stagnant right now. I mean, there's not a lot of wow stuff, and West
Desert Wheeler stuff is really cool.
Well, I mean the market.
Crawling.
No, I know, but I mean the market, like stuff coming out is kind of like
they're not sure where they want to be with. I think trail trucks versus comp based versus. Now, Trax has got everybody thinking they need to do all these extra features, like the locking diffs and all this stuff. And there's so many avenues that it's just like everybody's kind of into their own. It just doesn't feel like it was back in the day when it was just like the SCX10s for YouTube.
Right.
Everybody was kind of solidified around trail crawling and cool crawling vids, right?
Yeah, and scale stuff. Like the scale stuff is always hot.
But not scale to the degree it is now.
Right.
Not USDE scale.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think it's interesting food for thought. Let's move on.
All right.
So, what do you want to tackle next? I got Sombrero Speedway, MT
Let's talk
Racing.
About your backyard track, because I talked about my stuff quite a bit.
Okay. Backyard track. It's changing. It's an ever-changing thing. I'll have a video dropping tomorrow so people can see it. And it's not finished, but I made a scale Monster Jam. Scale-ish. It's not perfect scale, but it's the same principle as the Monster Jam Arena or stadium course right now. Starting on
we'll play into what we talk about later.
Yes. So super rad. It's a lot of fun right now, and it gave me a good opportunity to open up half of my like dirt track area to put more rocks in for crawling for proving ground stuff. So the weather's getting nicer, so it's and us being members at Die Hard now, I just don't see us running the dirt track in my backyard very often. Die Hard's 10 minutes away from me. They have a big dirt track, big carpet track, crawling course, all that kind of stuff. So it's like
basically your backyard at 8 minutes away.
Yeah. Times 10 though. You know what I mean? Like
bigger.
So, and to be honest, I kind of sat down and thought about it. My kid's getting my kid's getting pretty good at driving.
Dude,
And
his quick run with the LMT.
yeah, right? Like and the thing is he's getting pretty good at driving, so my little backyard isn't going to make him improve much, I don't think. And so
You'd be surprised what being able to drive on a small course could do for
right, well, but I just mean for like
technical.
the off-road dirt stuff. Like it's just
Yeah.
he's not going to be learning how to do these big doubles and big triples and stuff like that in my backyard. And that's part of that kind of driving is you have to learn the rhythm. You know what I mean? And so Nick B says, I hate you, Pablo, because of how close I am. So,
Yeah, Nick B's had a bunch of good comments. I was
Yeah.
reading a bunch of them here a minute ago, talking about what he watches and
Yep. So, you know, that was kind of the crux of it. And we're really enjoying the monster trucks again.
Yeah.
And it's weird because we're enjoying them on a different kind of aspect. We haven't done much freestyle, but we've been doing some of that racing, and it's been fun kind of running them around. And so, especially having two. So I was originally talking about what we're bringing down there. We're bringing two LMTs down there. One, I'm going to take the Kingsling body off and put on that Gravedigger body. And that's what my kid's going to run. I'm going to run my same taco truck. And then I figured out a program, a motor program that we're going to be doing for our others. So we're going to be running SMT 10s. I'm in love with the Holmes Hobbies motors. People are like, what? But the Holmes Hobbies 8-turn 5-slot motor is a torque monster. It can handle 2S, it can handle 3S. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the SMTs with that motor and 1080s, Hobbywing 1080 ESC. And then that way I can program them to have forward reverse. I can have them freewheel, all that kind of stuff, so that we can freestyle-ish and still race with them. And it'll be more spec. Won't be super fast, but it'll be, you know, they're both running the same thing. And so we're going to race those at that race on Sunday, and then we're going to be doing that in the backyard.
nice.
So, and
Busy.
I need to get another MT12 because David Ferris says, how's your MT12 vids doing? I ordered one up for an indoor monster truck. Dude.
Are they up for order now?
I don't know. I didn't know.
They were supposed to email me. I signed up for the email.
The fast track? Yeah, I don't know. Dude, so that rig is a dark horse. It's pretty surprising. It's not an SMT. It's not an LMT. It's somewhere in between a 24 scale and an SMT. It's awesome. Like it's got a lot of potential. You know, some of the things I would do right off the bat are put an earplug in the diff to tighten it up a little bit. And I'm torn because the 2S was pretty quick. It wasn't too fast. But on 3S, it was perfect, but I smoked the motor. Because that motor definitely isn't supposed to go on 3S. So I'm kind of like, is it worth putting in a power plant that could take 3S? I don't know. I don't know what it is, though.
So I'm going to put a link. It looks like
they're available on A-Main?
They're available on A-Main.
21 or 21 or 25 class. I don't know what that comment's in relation to. I don't know if he's talking about the monster truck. A 16 scale course at Die Hard, the new course. Oh, I thought they had that last year. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. They also just posted a video. Guess what they put on? A sand drag track at Die Hard. And I'm like, Yes,
I make
please.
those.
Yeah, I was like, yes, please. So he's asking what the turn is on that motor. I don't know what the turn is on that motor. There's no spec for it. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of fast. I don't know, and then they also have a 390, which is the long can 380 that goes into like the unicorn. And I don't know if that's supposed to be faster, but not as much torque. I don't know. So I'm going to be getting some stuff and playing around with it. But I'm definitely getting a new motor for it before this weekend because I'm going to bring it to the RC monster truck thing this weekend. Yeah, so Kalen said add some jumps in the sand drags and it's perfect. So the video they posted on Facebook, it actually had some whoops in the sand, which looked rad.
In the sand drag?
Yeah. So I'm
Ooh.
like king sling in the sand.
Ooh.
Yes, please. Like,
yeah. Dang. Somebody's asked, Booster FPV. For those that didn't hear, we found out this week or this weekend, I guess, that Marlon did pass away. We didn't hear from what, but definitely the RC monster truck community is at a big loss because of that. I mean, he lit any room he went into with laughter, and hearing him on the mic was awesome because he would just energy. He loved monster trucks. He loved RC monster truck, and I think it caught everybody off guard. You just think that at his age that you hear that they're in the hospital, you kind of figure they're going to pull through. So to hear that he didn't kind of is a huge gut punch to a lot of people, and I know it's a big loss for his family. Guy was filled with joy, like I said, brought joy and laughter into every room he entered. So it sucks big time. But
yeah,
it's it's going to be tough for people, I think, going forward for a little while. I mean, he impacted a lot of people in the RC community, especially monster truck community. So
he had a long reach because I didn't know him personally. And the way you described him is the way that I've heard other people describe him. And from what I saw of him, the few times I did see, it was just that, I call him an uncle. He was my grandpa, one of my grandpa's best friends. And he reminded me just of him. And so when I explained it to my wife about, I was like, there's a passing in the community that was pretty hard hit. And she's like, oh yeah. And I told her, it was like, it reminded me of Richard. And she's like, oh, like she knew exactly what I was, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yep, that kind of thing. So,
yep,
that's a tough one.
What was it? 4 years ago, we did a spotlight on him. I'll post that link.
Oh, that's cool.
For people that want to watch it. He loved vans.
Nice.
He loved the monster truck vans. So
that's awesome.
If you guys want to check it out, there's a link. You can kind of see what he's all about. You see the infectious personality that he has. So just from watching it.
So I'm reading through some of these comments.
Troy's hobbies. Rest in peace.
So sorry, there was comments before it jumped that they were asking questions about the MT-12, and I was trying to get to them, but
David wants to know if you should go brushless on it. David Ferris.
I'm torn on it. I think probably drive it a little bit more how it is. So brushless is kind of a double-edged sword in a vehicle like this. It's not really a basher. And what it is, it's kind of a play kind of basher. I don't see this thing taking huge jumps. It seemed pretty durable. I mean, for how I was driving it, I had some pretty good spills and nothing worried me or didn't look that, concerning. But the kind of thing is, if you go brushless, any brushless system that would work for that 2S might not have enough torque. Because in monster trucks, I like to like in that kind of a monster truck, I like to have torque for like slap wheelies or backflips or whatever. And 3S gives me enough torque, but the torque curve is like super steep, right? Like it's like bow. 2S sometimes is a little soft on the trigger, and sometimes
depends on the gear ratio in this one. Because if you use that Spectrum or Dynamite one that goes in the other ones,
yeah,
those things straight wheelie down the back straightaways of the in the buggy.
really
So yeah, I wheelie down the whole back straight. If it's a straightaway and you punch it, front end up.
on 2S.
2S. 2S
Wow.
stock batteries for those little trucks.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to trying it. I don't know that it's necessary yet, but I think the 2S has a little bit to be desired in the stock setup, just a little bit. I mean, and
I
that's
still think you could have backflipped it. I think if you weren't on sand,
I think so too. I
think your approach was kind of rounded up to it. I think if it was more of a pop to get that initial.
I think so too. I think
shorter, steeper.
I think if it had semi-locked diffs in it, it would have hooked up and done it.
They're not locked, so
no.
you just need to shove some
earplugs
in it.
Yep. And I think then it would be solid.
Okay.
But all in all, it's a fun truck to drive. Like it
looked quick.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't fast, but it was, I mean, $200 is pretty worth it.
Well, I mean, if you keep it in a small space,
that's
relative.
Yeah, and
if
that's what was
wide open for a long time. It's going to look really slow.
Right. And the only thing, like I said, the only thing that I kind of wanted a little more was torque, a little more low end torque, but it wasn't bad. I mean, when it hooked up. That's why I think if it was locked or semi-locked, it would probably do more of what I want it to. Okay, I take that back. If you're wanting to do any type of like freestyle stuff with it, unless I miss something and the ESC is programmable, you're going to want to change to a 1060 or a 1080. Because it's like 50% throttle in reverse.
Yeah.
And so there's not enough power to do anything in reverse.
Yeah.
But overall, it's, going forward, it's fun for sure. That's a good idea. CR12 Ford body, mini Bigfoot,
that would be good.
or a Mrs. Bigfoot. That'd be cool. The baby blue one.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun for just a small area. We're trying to get something going here in Michigan. I've been talking to some people. We're going to try to get something monster truck on the west side. There's definitely stuff on the east side. I saw somebody, CP Detroit, said that there wasn't much of a monster truck scene here, which in Detroit, Michigan Monsters run out there on the east side, not in Detroit, but Southfield, or I don't know exactly where they're at, honestly, but down in that area. But we're going to try to do something west side here somehow. We'll find it out, figure it out. But I've been talking with a couple other monster truck guys that are here, and we're all a couple hours apart. But if we can find a spot that works,
I could see this monster truck maybe having its own class. Like it was that much fun out of the box, like a stock class. Like if I was running a monster truck program, I would buy 6 of them and let people try. Like they were good enough to do that. Like
so Sen did that. That's how we all got into their first ones. They showed up at the races, at that Showtime race where we interviewed Marlon and them.
Yeah.
That was the first time I met the people from Sen, and they had the B50 and the HL 150. And they did this race around the outside of the track, oval race, basically 5 laps. And they had 5 trucks or something like that. And then they just hand over the controllers to the racers to actually, here's what you have to race.
Nice.
And I think the winner got to keep one of them or something like that. But it was super fun. Like, it was a blast.
Yeah.
And I keep saying like I want to do that oval race because of that, like with the monster trucks. It was
Yeah.
so much fun to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, anytime you give somebody, that's what we were talking about trying to do with those mini speedsters, the actual Yeti Can-Am Juniors, painting them
Oh,
up
right.
like gold speedsters from Monster Jam,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just having that as a sideshow that people had to run the ones that we supplied.
Right. Right. Right.
So there was like they were all box stock with just a paint job, you know, and it's just about driving better. So that kind of stuff's just fun when you just have like the rides. It's almost like go-karts though, where it's like, I sure hope I get that one because it looks quicker than the rest, you
Yeah.
know?
100%. Yeah.
But
And I could totally
no.
see that with these. Yeah. And, you know, and the hard thing is that you and I and a lot of other people have a different view on what an RC monster truck should be.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is a perfect gateway, inexpensive. It's one of those things where it's like it's fast enough, but it's not fast enough to really do major damage to itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Good.
like, which is good. Yeah. So like you hand that to a 12-year-old that's never RC'd before and you say, hey, go play with this, take it off some jumps, do monster truck stuff. They're not going to have a problem with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't see anything happening to it. So I think I like it. I'm going to put a new motor in it for this weekend. So if most of these people can hold off, if they want to hold off this weekend, I'm going to have a picture of 24 scale monster truck, or no, 18 scale monster truck, MT12, SMT10, Cloudbuster, LMT.
All the different sizes, yeah.
You know, so you can kind of see.
Really scale.
Yeah, so you can really see the differences and all that. I guess Cloudbuster would be before the SMT10, but
CP Two Choices, Michigan Mauser does indoor racing only. Yeah, a lot of people do that. It keeps the very expensive race trucks clean.
Yeah.
I thought I hated it until I did it, and I don't hate it now.
That was one of the reasons that I didn't do well, and it was just hard on my schedule last year. But why I didn't do the monster truck thing last year is because they were doing it in a parking lot on concrete, and I just knew that was just going to be
tear it up.
And so now that it's on dirt, I'm like, I'm all in. Like,
yeah, I don't even mind grass. Like you did grass the other day.
Yeah,
because it doesn't tear stuff up.
Right.
So we'd be looking probably at shortcut grass as part of what we do, and then the plastic ramps and cones and stuff like we used to do, but not on cement. Because my original Freestyle RC ZRD, aluminum cage, beautiful.
Yeah.
First time I took it out on asphalt, chassis slapped and just ground the big chunk out of the bottom of it. And then I made these skids for it. But still, it's like, man, if you do it on carpet, or on concrete, guys, put carpet down where the landings are.
Yeah.
And it'll save a lot of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't mind. Like they do indoor at a RC place, which is cool because you're in a venue and there's parts and different things you can buy if you need it, and that's always awesome. When you can do it at a shop. But when you can't, I mean, outdoor, you can run anywhere you want. I mean, honestly, so you can find a baseball diamond and run on an infield if you wanted.
Don't do that.
You got permission.
I was like, don't do that. Like,
yeah, you don't want to tear up somebody's field.
But. Yeah. I was going to say, speaking to that kind of cough. I did something different on my ramps, on my jumps this time. And they are dirt jumps. So I cheat a little bit. I put bucks under my dirt. So I use cinder blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pile my dirt up around it. The problem is that my dirt will, after the rain and all that, deteriorate and create little lips, right? Where the cinder block is, and it just puts you straight up.
Yep.
So I put the dirt down, made my ramp to the top of the blocks like I wanted to, and made the dirt. And then I put AstroTurf down on top of that.
Yep.
And then I covered over and then I put the dirt over the top of it. Only thing I don't like is that you could see the AstroTurf on the crown of the jump, which is like, kind of looks kind of janky.
But it holds it together.
But it holds it, dude. Like that, and especially with something like the LMT with the Renegades on it. I mean, that slow-mo one that I did, you could see the dirt coming up as it was running around the corner, and it was pretty dry. I mean, in the summertime, we'll probably have to wet it down quite a bit, and it'll get hard and compact. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. So I'm excited for that, for sure. So
here's he says they run indoors for winter, but summer we run on turf at Left Hand Brewery. Is it actual like artificial turf or is it grass and just called
AstroTurf?
You think it's AstroTurf? That's what I'm getting.
No, I mean, I just instead of artificial. Yeah, I would assume it's AstroTurf because that
That'd
long
be my guess.
synthetic turf has the black pills in it.
Yep,
which would get everywhere.
It does. It gets inside. We did a Showtime event. The first time I met Marlon and them was at a indoor soccer field.
Oh, wow.
And there was black stuff in our cars. You keep finding it in stuff.
Oh, wow.
Forever. It was pretty wild. Well, let's talk, since we're talking monster trucks, let's talk about the freestyle. We need to come up with a few rules, time.
I don't have anything to write down with. Do you have something?
I've got my notepad here for Mac.
Okay.
You can just type in stuff. Like time limit.
How long do you think we should make them? That's the hard thing about RC freestyle.
Seconds.
Yeah, because I was like, that's not hard.
Long, and it starts repeating the same tricks.
Well, and RC freestyle does not translate like monster truck freestyle.
We don't have cutting of angles and all that in the shot. It's just
but should we?
Wide open.
So here's a question. I concede to you that you are a better editor than I am, obviously. But should this freestyle be a one run freestyle, but we can edit in different camera angles? Do you want to spend that much time on it?
I only shoot one camera angle usually anyway.
Oh.
I just try and stay with it and follow it around. But you could zoom in, I guess, or do pop-ins or...
Well, like for instance, if I had, 2 GoPros.
I think we could do like the panning and some of that type of editing too, where you might, where with yours it was just like static shot, no.
Right. Or you could chase it around if you did, or if you had someone else chase it. But with mine, yeah, that's the thing. So Mini Jam does awesome stuff, but they just don't translate very. Like, it's like unless you do really good editing. It just doesn't translate like a real monster truck freestyle does. In-car cameras. Oh, yeah. The only funny thing is when there's in-car cameras and you drive by the guy driving the car, you look like Godzilla out there.
Yeah.
FPV cameras. That's what we should do. We should hit up some...
anything.
No. We should hit up some FPV company and be like, hey, send us some decent FPV stuff, and we'll do a FPV.
Sick. Straight up sick.
Well, no,
we have to drive. It.
No, I was going to say we have to drive FPV, but then we can have it videoed.
Oh, I don't want to do that
on static camera.
No fun.
What?
That'd be no fun.
That'd be rad, dude.
FPV in cars doesn't float my boat. It's so bumpy.
Yeah. King of drivers, Art Hoffer says.
I think we should be able to edit it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Make it add music, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Royalty-free music.
Royalty-free. Yeah. I have Epidemic Sound, so we'll be
okay. Good. So do I. So we're both good there.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I think we should go a full 60 seconds. That's a long time.
I think you can get one rollover.
One rollover.
Yep.
I just don't
60 seconds with one rollover is doable.
I don't like rollovers because then I feel like I'm the chubby guy running after a toy RC car trying to kick it over and not run out of time.
Cut it out. You see it rolled over.
Okay. And we'll just be on the honor system that we're running for a full 60 or only a 60.
Well, your video is 60 seconds, what we'll say. So if you do a rollover, it stops. You cut
Well,
back
okay.
on and keep going. You could
So that's where I think the editing part gets sticky. Because
slow motion should be allowed.
sure, but
60 seconds, and you can throw in a cool slow-mo.
maybe 2 slow-mo hits.
I mean, we got to make it interesting, right?
Yeah. So okay, so here's the only thing that I that comes into play when I think of the editing
Right.
thing.
So
I think it should be one run that can
Yep.
be edited.
Yep.
So if there's a rollover,
you'd have to see that it was in the same spot as the rollover to
Right.
start over.
right.
Yeah, you can't just like cut something else where it's now jumping somewhere else.
Yeah, you can't count.
You got to flip it back over where it was.
You
and
can't
start
cut
from
run 37 into run 40 and say, yeah. Okay. Yep. I like it.
So you
3D
have to
print.
pretty much, once you flip it, go back to either if you have a static angle where it would show it like,
Yeah.
you know, just
Yep.
reset.
Okay.
So 2, 1 rollover, 2 slow motions.
You don't have to use them, but you
No.
can. Yeah.
You have 60 seconds total video,
Okay.
and you could waste some of that with a slow motion if you think that it helps your freestyle, because it's going to be judged by the people watching. So if you could sell like a bicycle or something that otherwise seems very like not noticeable, not stand out, your slow motion could help you out.
I'm gonna have a lot of problems. My track is small. I might have to do made jumps.
You have
and
to
go the
jump over
beach.
your neighbor's fence in. You're gonna have to top.
I know. Well, that's the thing is that you'll see my video because my son, I think there's some in the video where he kind of does a little bit of freestyle stuff, and it's just not spread apart enough.
I like overboard.
Yeah.
3D print you around 30,000 scale plastic people.
Why not?
What's going on, Jeff Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we don't have to have any specific tricks. We'll keep it on the honor system from week to week that it's not a rehash video.
We're not doing it every week.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you said week to week, and I was like, whoa.
Once a month, right?
Sure.
Second Tuesdays of the month. We'll figure it out back to back, and then during the show we'll just make sure that the title screen has something about it and that people get to vote.
Yep.
Make sure your video has a vote for Pablo Banner. You have 60 seconds to vote after. We gotta go to judges zone X and cast your vote. Don't just vote for your favorite person.
Nope.
They're getting so like at the Monster Jam things like, and don't just vote for your favorite truck. These people put in a lot of work.
I know.
Make sure you definitely vote based on who was the best run.
With the judges in
Not just
all
the
Gravedigger
truck, like,
gear.
Little kids, I'm looking at you. Don't just vote for the dog or the shark.
I know.
You don't even know what a good trick is. Don't even let them vote. You're not allowed to have a phone.
See, that's what I'm concerned about. Is I don't think I have enough room to
You don't
really
think the
do
people
tricks.
in the chat know how to vote?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, he doesn't trust your judgment, people. I think you would be amazing judges.
It's
and
because
I know that you would see how farly superior my runs are going to be to his when you do cast your votes.
I know.
Well,
Well, you're
remember that he doesn't think that your vote counts or that you have any.
you're gonna make it on your channel so that you can only vote for yours on your channel, and everyone watches on your channel anyway. So it's
It
gonna be
doesn't
like,
work.
Yep. They're gonna be like, what? The vote's not on Pablo's channel? I'm like, don't worry about it. No one's over there anyway.
But it's not a popularity contest.
I know. I'm gonna run out there all greased up. You're gonna want the oil, Tony.
It's the biggest area crashes, right?
Yep. bracket point
There's
system.
no point system. It's just for the night. Bragging rights for the week.
Yep.
It's not like at the end you have a champion of all. It's just week to week,
Yep.
but not every week. The week we do it.
Right.
You get bragging rights until the next time.
Yep. I like it. Thank you,
Well,
Tanker T68. He's like, I'll watch your channel. There you go. Give me some love.
Yeah. We'll just combine the two, the votings from them.
Let's just keep it.
Sorry, you don't get to vote.
Just keep it on your channel. There'll be more people on your channel. I'd rather just do that.
Make sure that they can be on both. You just have to go onto yours and do it. We'll both do it.
We put the vote on my channel only, and everyone
force people over. Yes, I like it. We'll put a link.
Yep.
Everywhere for people to click on to go vote at Judges Zone RCamigos.com/.
We'll put a QR code up there.
As long as Tony gets the shot in the baby maker, I don't care.
That's what I'm going to do, Tony. I'm going to do a life-size
print. You need to have a baby maker car.
Yeah. I'm going to do a life-size print of you out of paper.
No, not me. You got to do it as the Anchorman car, dude.
Of you, and I'm going to jump through the baby maker. It's going to be like a tearaway. It's going to be my big hero shot right there.
Not safe for work.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for West Desert Wheeler.
There you go. And David Ferris says he's going to vote for, I think it was him, says he's going to vote for Scale Builders Guild.
Oh, I didn't show these yet. So these are, well, these aren't the ones. These are the ones.
Foams?
These are prototypes.
Ooh.
Of mini monster truck foams.
Really?
Yeah. I know somebody who wants these, Jeff Magovich. I'm looking your way.
For those are the J Concept ones? Or 4 J Concepts, I mean?
I'm not going to say what they're for. People have to choose what they want to put them in.
I'll tell you where you can put it.
I'm not actually sure that I was allowed to show those.
Uh-oh.
There wasn't actually great clarification on that. After I showed it, I realized that it said prototype on it.
You're like, son of a...
Yeah. So...
Okay, so I have a confession to make. And I made this confession to you earlier. And the video is going to be dropping probably next week. I'm torn if I should do a 3-post video, a 3-post this week on YouTube or just 2. But I put the Stinger Micro Komodo in my 18th scale monster truck.
Oh yeah, the XS one.
The 18th scale.
Oh, I got my sticker today.
Oh, you did?
That just came in. It took forever for them to make a sticker.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you have it?
I think I do.
Does it look good?
Well, my wife was questioning it. So, yeah. She's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh, it finally came."
Do you have my decoder ring?
I don't remember what it's supposed to say. Oh, I know now.
Yeah.
I know what that is.
That's awesome. But I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun with it. I do need to get a replacement servo. So I was gonna ask you if your servos fit that. Or I don't remember. What if
if you have one of my servo mounts,
okay,
which I can send you.
Well, I'll buy one off of you, so don't send it to me yet. But
you got to get it on eBay.
Okay, I'll find it on eBay, or send me the link. But it was awesome until the servo blew out, stock servo. The video will show that Stinger microchromoto with the speed transmission in there.
Yeah.
It's fast. And it's it did really awesome. Did really, really awesome. Had the mofo tires on it. Did pretty rad. So be sure to drink your Ovaltine, David Ferris. I know what you're talking about. Son of a. I forgot what he says. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just send you money direct on PayPal. That way eBay doesn't take their cut. Booyah. There you go.
What's for that 2FMRC video now so I can watch it? I'm not seeing it. You have to send me a link, Jeff.
What did he have?
I think he was talking about the foams.
Oh. Really?
So I'm hoping that they'll fit in the stock tires. They're pretty wide. You might have to do a little trimming.
And the stock tires. So you're narrowing it down now.
For these, I was thinking they'd go into the J Concepts ones. So
yeah,
that was my plan, to put them in the Renegades.
I never bought a set of those. I should have. But I have 2 sets of mofos. One for my sons and one for mine.
Yeah.
I need to get another SCX24 just so I can keep my sons as a crawler and make one into a monster truck. Otherwise, he gets just a monster truck that can crawl, I guess. Wow.
I got a stockpile of stuff from Crawler Innovations.
That's awesome.
Tuning discs and...
Tell him to send me some custom foams for my Frankenwagon.
These kind of things. I could see putting these maybe into the single stages into there. I could maybe even see sliding these in. These are smaller, so you'd have an air gap still.
Yeah.
These, however, are what we run in our race trucks.
Mm.
And yeah, these Deuces Wilds with the Renegade tires, and there's just this little air gap on them, but they're flat across and they just hook.
Nice.
So good. So I'm hoping they'll do the same in these minis.
So Overboard asked what servo savers are running on the LMTs. I just have the stock ones. I did buy the stock. Did I buy it? Was it Trial or was it the stock? I think it was the stock one, but for 25 tooth because I put a raw 500 on mine.
Yep.
But
the Trio ones are pretty decent that they make.
Mm-hmm.
I run only Freestyle RC ones.
Look at you.
They're expensive.
You need a tracksuit.
But I haven't blown a servo with them.
See, I'm anxious for them to come back out so that I can buy one. Because I've always wanted to get
back.
one. I know.
RC is coming back.
I've always wanted one, and every time I went to go get them, they were already sold out.
So, yes, Horizon RC Fest is going to be something no one will want to miss this year. Oh boy, Isaac is here.
Oh boy.
Isaac is in the I saw he's in the freestyle comp on Instagram. He's a multiple time winner of the Trigger King freestyle. I think 5-time winner.
Whoa.
Of the Trigger King freestyle. So yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see how
David
that
Ferris is smart. Don't buy it on eBay. Send him money direct so eBay doesn't. Yeah, eBay, man.
That's what I just said.
There's so much money being taken by them.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. When you really sit there. So they take 13% straight off the top. And then they charge you another 2% to send you the money.
That's
like
crazy.
1.5% for a fee for sending it electric. So it's 15% by the time they're done is what they've taken from the cost. So I don't know how anybody makes any money, especially if they're doing free shipping on stuff.
Yeah.
At all on eBay. It's crazy. And it's a pain in the butt to try and like deal with.
Yeah.
Everybody that orders multiple things have to go in and refund them their shipping because it won't combine it for some reason. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
so yeah,
Yeah, Kaylin says that's less than YouTube.
that is less than YouTube. But I mean, I guess it's different. They're the ones that are bringing in the money and giving you a cut of it.
Yeah.
So they're dealing with all the bringing in advertisers.
That's
David
funny.
Fair says I used to work. It's crazy. People ask me to, and the reason I do is because people will search for products on eBay, but they don't necessarily know that my site exists to go there and order them. And so I have a better chance of being seen on eBay than I do cough on Google.
Oh, dude, this cough is killing me. How long have I been sick for?
2 weeks.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. 3 weeks. This
Yeah,
cough is
and-
going on 3 weeks.
And 4% more if you want to boost your post. Crazy.
Don't even get me started on paying money to be
Seen.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Facebook too. Like,
Yeah, Meta.
you're intentionally holding people back that want to see my stuff, so you can. I have to pay for the people that clicked on my page that they want to follow and see what I'm doing.
And they're not
You
even
won't let
paying.
them see it unless I pay you.
Right. Well, that's why I was wondering if it's a conspiracy. Are you ready? Ready to put on your foil hat?
Ready? Yes. Make us wise.
A couple months ago,
Silver-haired one.
They started talking about banning TikTok by September.
Yep.
Facebook, Meta, killed their Reels and pay programs. And I was concerned that they're having financial issues because then they started charging to get reach. But then who's the company that previously was getting things in the eyes of voters and what's coming in September? Right? People are going to start campaigning. If TikTok goes offline around September and people start campaigning, and then all of a sudden these other
I don't think it
companies
will,
raise
but
up
yeah.
to the top. I don't know, man. Foil hat, here you go. I think that they're positioning themselves to be disseminators of information.
But
when it
why
comes-
wouldn't they pay people to come be on their platform and do it? Why would they just?
Because they were having money issues, so that's why they had to nix it, and that's why they're getting money now from the people that want reach. And then all of a sudden they're going to get bailed out.
For reach, right? Because if you were paying for reach, your video couldn't be monetized.
Right.
You couldn't double dip. You couldn't be like, man, if I get reach and get this thing going viral, then I take it off and let it just keep rolling in the viralness.
Right.
I'll make money. Yeah.
Right.
So they're trying to pay to play version instead of an advertising.
Right. And I think that they will come out of their darkness in September, especially if TikTok goes down, because all the viewership will then hop over to Meta and YouTube. And then they're going to be positioned to get information out for campaigners to
Well, the interesting thing is they could do that as an advertisement, right? Instead of they'd pay as an ad to be circulated, which would still be played in people's profiles that keep people on Instagram, so they could still monetize people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're paying for, at that point, an advertisement is what they're going to pay for.
Right.
They're not going to pay for boosting a post. They're going to literally be paying for an ad.
Yeah.
So it's different than the other people that are just trying to make reels that get views and bring people to the platform, in my opinion. So it doesn't make sense why they didn't. I think they just found that nobody clicks on the ads through that type of a setup. The way that they have it where you scroll past them, it's not the same as when you have to wait on YouTube or something else, or they're
Facebook and Instagram's biggest problem is that they're not YouTube. And so their content is not searchable. Their content doesn't come up when you search something on Google or when you search something on whatever. It does, Instagram posts aren't going to pop up. So that's why they're having problems, because people are, sucking them dry basically. And then they're just going to be like, oh, hey,
Well, I hope that YouTube doesn't screw themselves over with all the short stuff and the type of audience that they're bringing instead of the audience they have. Because I think that the audience they have is more valuable to them.
Yeah.
Versus just watching people dance and react to somebody doing
Yep.
something, like where there's like, watching somebody open a package and like, oh my gosh, like
CP
that stuff is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
CP Detroit is getting to the point that I was getting to, is that if Reels bonus goes away and then TikTok goes away and people were getting paid on TikTok, why would they have to pay people anymore on Instagram?
Yeah, and it's different. I guess if you're an influencer and you're doing it right, you're getting paid by the companies direct to be an ad. What
Right,
happened with
right.
Bud Light, right? Like,
yeah.
those
Right.
people get cash and they get incentives directly from the company. It's not coming from, and that's with TikTok too. So much of that influence is them getting direct payment to put something into their video.
That has been 100% my model.
That'll
because
never happen really in the RC world because so many people are so easy to just take a free RC
yeah,
and call that good enough.
I
that
know.
There's not really going to be money for many people in there to do.
No. And that's the thing, is that was my whole, like I said before, my whole goal was to get a kid a month or a kid a quarter, by trade, by doing whatever. And I didn't want to.
Kid.
Huh?
Sounds like you said kid, but kit.
Oh, well, yeah. Yep.
A
Kit.
Okay.
Some kind of RC. And so that was my whole goal. And it was outside of the typical pay structure of being an influencer, of, getting money from YouTube, getting money from Meta, Reels, whatever. Because I never got into that. They never let me into the Reels bonuses, the Reels play. I'm not yet there on YouTube. Eventually I'll get there, but that's a byproduct of what I'm striving for. So
it helps for sure.
Oh yeah.
I used to use that money straight up for buying RCs and doing stuff in the hobby for making more videos. Like that's it funded that stuff. So
yep.
It wasn't necessarily about getting free stuff or any of that. Like,
yeah. And I feel like I'll be there at some point. Like that's how I plan on using that when I get to that point. But
yeah,
it's a grind.
Now more than ever.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like people have said it, and Talbot and everybody else will say it, but it's like, there's something about when you buy something and just choose to do reviews on it versus being sent something and doing a review on it.
Yep.
It's true. Like the way that you're going to perceive it, like everything is filtered through different lenses of how things happen and the different chain reactions that make something happen. Where you spending cold hard cash, way different.
That dopamine
expectations.
Yeah.
For one, two things. Like if it's awesome, it's really awesome because I just paid, saved up and paid for this thing.
Yep.
And it's everything I hoped it was, versus I just shelled out a lot of money, and like all these little things that if I didn't pay for it, you'd kind of glance over.
Yeah.
But I paid for it, and it's like they should have got that right. Like
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, so, that dopamine hit is totally real when it comes to getting something for free and you get to play with it.
A lot recently when I watch videos now. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right.
And so many people, like I've never been one. I've recently started putting more of the affiliate links in, or even calling attention to them. Like I've always hated that whole aspect of. I'm not a salesman. I've said it before. I'm the worst salesman ever about that kind of thing, and I don't want to be like, I'm doing this. Check, make sure you use the links down below and do this and do that, and like you need to buy this. This is amazing. Hit the link below. Buy it for yourself. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they're making money off that. Like
sure.
And there's a difference between you choosing. So like I bought this car, this Axial, and the other one, and I went to influencers and I clicked on their links.
Sure.
Because I knew it does help them.
Right.
But it's not because they're begging me to do it, like that I chose to do it. Like I knew that I could go and choose, and so it's kind of just that. Like so much of why I don't watch a whole lot of RC videos is that's kind of what I feel is so many of them these days.
And it's hard because, like, for instance, it's hard to not feel like you drank the Kool-Aid, because like clearly you have a love for Arma stuff, right? And just because you've had good experiences with it, like for instance the granite, things like that, right?
Yep.
So if they sent you a granite, it'd be hard not to have a little bit of that stigma as a negative connotation, but like a little part of that like seasoning still left over. It's like me with the MT12, right? Like that's why I'm trying not to be like overly gleeful about it, because I'm super grateful they sent it to me. And it's awesome because it's given me an opportunity to be different from everyone else, but it's also showcasing their, you know, that's one thing that I harp about when it's like, don't send it to these people that are going to show it once and that's
Right.
it and never get back to it. It's like, get it to the people. And I'm saying this to other people that are trying to be influenced, get it to people's that are going to be taking multiple videos of it, talking about it long term, all that kind of stuff. And it's like I'm trying not to be overly gleeful with a vehicle like that, but I'm also trying to set it up in a frame set where it's not new sliced bread. It's not,
Right.
it's fun. In my opinion, is it worth the money? Yeah, I would, I think it is. Knowing what RCs cost right now, I mean, is there anything kind of close to it in that market? Maybe the Smasher, but it's bigger. So
Yeah.
I think you could play with it at more
Stampede
places.
is what are those going for now? 320? Or are they 200 still?
I don't know.
I think they're
And
320 actually.
even the Stampede would be quite a bit bigger than this one.
Yeah, and it's 2-wheel drive.
Yeah. But so there's not really a good like wedge to put it into. It kind of goes in between different ones. So
this is a good question that people should ask.
Yeah.
Even when they're getting something.
Yeah.
Would you buy it again? Even if you didn't buy it?
Right.
Like if I had to then choose to go out and buy another one, and I have, like, I mean, we've bought Sentence,
Yep.
Big Rocks, we've bought.
Well, and that's 100% me with
again.
Yeah, it's 100%
Granite
with the Element platform. 100% me. I mean, that's why I have 6 Element platform, crawlers or whatever, because it's like I really like the platform. It really performs, from the base of it. So I have had Axial, I've had a Red Cat, I've had the other stuff, but
and I get it from I mean, I've sent stuff away to people too, of my own products, because I do understand that it does help to have people that are going to make videos about it have it.
Right.
A lot of people, how many people bought my pine trees? I haven't seen a single video on them.
Yeah, I know. I felt
people have bought them.
I felt guilty because I have them sitting here ready for me to install. And I'm like, I just haven't been down here. Like,
I just took first place with my AX24 and my SCX24 last week running pine trees, and they were hooking up awesome.
That's
with 2 different tires. One of them was running the new Proline Baja Pro X's with them in it.
Yeah.
And then I was running my Scramblers, which they work best, of course, in. But they did awesome. But again, I didn't honestly make them for anybody else, so I don't even care if they sell or not. I'm gonna keep putting. I've actually been, this whole time we've been talking, kind of like flipping this around on my finger, and it's just one of my prototypes for my Class 2 wheels that I'm gonna run are the Super Swampers by Proline, and they're running a smaller version in here of the pine trees that I've really air gapped and also have that rigidity in there.
I don't know what it is. I don't drive these enough, but for some reason I've really been jonesing to build another one. I don't know why. Like there's no rhyme or reason to me to build another one, but
Hey, Mike from England.
Oh, I was like, what?
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, but I've been jonesing to build another truck. Maybe it'll happen, Tony.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen. You know what's happening right now? I'm putting in your pine tree right now.
But I mean, again, I didn't send them to anybody to review or anything like that. Like the Chihuahuas didn't sell for a while because I didn't ever have time to make a video on it, really. And then I sent a few out to 2 or 3 to people, and then
I made a video on them.
Yep, sales picked up. So once people started knowing that they were even available. And so I get why companies do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I try my best to always remember to say, I always put up that new disclaimer that they have. It's not new, but you check the box that something was given, that you were paid to make the video.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
But
vent the
why?
tire.
But why? Why do you
But why?
feel that you have to check that box?
Well, because the way that it's worded now, if you received something in order to make the video, I guess even the product in the video, you're supposed to put that it's a paid product placement or whatever. It pops up there, that little
well, I get that, but
received something.
like,
So, but I try to also say that they sent it to me, like the Gen Ace battery charger.
tell my wife that all the time. They sent it to me.
They gave it to me.
Yeah. These don't smell like pine.
No, I wish I could get them infused right into the material,
You're not Santa.
but I'm not. I don't have a big enough quantity that I would order for them
Look at
to
that.
fuse them.
Who am I?
So,
I'm Tony.
but yeah,
You know what I'm doing? I'm setting this up as crosshairs.
yeah.
You can't see, but I'm going to shoot you in the baby maker through the. Got him.
But yeah. So,
Do I have to vent the tires? I don't vent my tires ever. Ever.
It's so much better when they are. If
they're
I mean,
not.
if you have a vented ring, it should be okay.
I don't have a vented ring.
Then you're not going to have any benefit.
So
of the
am I okay just to like smash this up and put it in there?
Just shove it in there. Just crunch it up, and you can basically fold it like a taco.
I'm good at that.
And then shove it up in.
What are you saying, Tony? Why you gotta mansplain me like that?
I got some in here too. These are in the rippers. Yeah, I mean, just crinkle them all up in there and fold them up.
Integrity RC is asking, what is a good 4S combo? What's the 4S combo going in? Would be my first question. Is it going in a boat?
Crawler, basher, what size, what scale?
Yep, that's what I would ask.
There's different size motors.
Is it a drone? 4S combo? I don't know. That's what she said. That's right.
I need to finish building some wheels that these are on. I need to find the other two tires too.
You know what I love?
Two of the Swampers right here. Or what are these? Yeah.
David Ferris. I love it when people are like, when I go and I'm on a work thing and some guy's like, goes down the list. Paco, Pedro, what's your, like, and I'm like, it's Pablo. I'm like, oh, come on, guy. This is not hard. It's Pablo. Let's go.
I think I called you Pedro once on accident.
I know. I never forget that, Tony.
Yeah.
I never forget. I'll remember that. Always. Cut me deep, Tony.
Oh, I have a giveaway we could do.
What?
Maybe next week.
Ooh.
Got these bigger version of the Cow RC mats. More square shaped with the side. I didn't take these out yet.
I was going to say, Tony, how are you supposed to put anything in there?
But they ship better with them packed like this. But got two of them. We'll figure out ways to give them away over the next couple weeks.
The person that lobbies for my freestyle to win the best gets one. Tony, the lighting in here is terrible. I cannot see where.
Next insert should be tan and called Taco Treads.
I like it. TM. I like it.
I win. Oh, Racing Case just won the competition. We don't even know what the rules were. That's awesome.
Nailed it.
I've got some other things we could give away.
Tony, look at you.
We've got this awesome Gen Ace charger here.
I want that Gen. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one, the new one you just
smart
reviewed.
One.
Is
it's
it?
Another one of their smart ones.
That's pretty awesome.
And you use USB-C off of your computer or whatever. Your car cigarette light or whatever. It's super small, and it'll recognize and charge. It's one of their new iMars minis.
It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
At some point, you know, you just gotta get rid of stuff.
Yeah,
It's just too much.
I feel you. Ooh. Here we go, Tony. Are you lazy like me and only put in 2 screws in the back of your wheels?
No,
Really?
no. I do 5. If it's only 5, that's easy.
Look at that. So squishy.
You didn't even vent them, and they're still squishy.
Nope. It's
Ooh.
because these tires are awesome. Can you hear that?
Which ones are those? Are they the Swamp Kings?
Swamp donkeys. That's what I call them. They're my swamp donks.
That's what I was just working on here.
Nice. Yep.
Although I'm not actually working on it. I'm just sitting here squeezing it.
Kalen says, should he get a Claude?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
I've
The
been
new
trying to
black
tell
and
him.
red one.
It's hot.
So nice.
It's pretty hot. He wants to get one and cannibalize it, though.
Yep. Get the J Concepts chassis. It's so good.
No, he wants to go even crazier than that. He wants to 4-link it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you don't want to do a race, Claude.
I know. That's
You
what
don't
I'm
want to do that.
He wants to
Caroline.
keep it scale.
I
but
have a better opinion of you than that.
he goes, fill it to I'll mod it to death. And it won't
No,
be a
you
Claude
gotta
anymore.
leave the arms, the ladder links. You gotta leave that.
Dude, he knows. He ran mine at the last monster truck thing, and he was like a little kid, man. He loved it. And it's like, yeah, just keep it stock like that. I would do the regulator chassis, but that's it. And on axle steering and lock out the rear.
Owen Rogers, what's up?
What's going on? So I should win that Charger, he says.
Will your shock player put in SCX24 link balls?
Ooh.
Into what, like the shocks? Or links? Like the plastic links? I don't know.
Seems kind of tight. Yeah, Kalen says he can't leave anything stock. Any good recommendations or upgrades for the Smasher? I cannot give any input on that, for I do not have one. I'm sure Tony's got some stuff that would fit there eventually. I don't know. If they make a Stinger kit for the Smasher, go with that. The Stinger and Micro Komodo, solid motor, super rad from Furatech. Upgrade your servo to a Chihuahua or a Mighty Eagle. I love the fishy. What's the fishy?
I guess that's negatory.
Nope. Like, ain't gonna happen.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Probably not. I don't have one that I can actually test. One of the plastic links. All the metal ones run
They're already in there.
O-rings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But they will grip onto a bunch of stuff. That's what I mainly use them for. Cough.
Thank you.
Rod ends, all that kind of stuff, holding on to links.
I used them for building my race cars right before the race. They were awesome for that. Super awesome.
They're good for popping out pillow balls and all that. I don't think they'll fit in a small pillow ball. The S624.
Would you run a regulator Claude with 17 turn motors in a sport mod class? Nah.
No.
I wouldn't. It would not.
Dude, I would run 27 turn J Concepts, silent speed motors, make it an actual Claude.
Yep. I'm with you, Tony.
It's
and
so
then
much fun.
Here's the thing, Kalen. If you go crazy with it, it's not going to be in the same class as the two other guys that have quads at these monster truck races. So if you, I mean,
You
keep
want to
it.
build up that retro class because it's the most fun class.
Yeah. Yeah. Super fun.
Get some old bodies, make some crush cars that you have to slam on. I can send you the plans for those little. It's basically a flat piece of.
Oh, with the block on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 blocks. So you cut a 2x4 in half.
Yep.
As the little start ones, then you have a full size one in the middle.
Yeah.
So it steps up on each side. Sky wheelie all day long off that thing.
Yep.
Super fun.
Yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast last time. Tony, I should wrap it up.
I know we got to go. I was going to say it's been almost 2 hours, and I have a hockey game to get to.
Oh, I know the Kraken are playing
Kraken
tonight.
are playing Dallas.
Yep. I know. I
got to finish the Florida game. Don't anybody tell me the score, the final. I have it recording.
Flata.
Yeah.
All right, man.
DeSantis versus the Great White North.
Ah.
That's how my wife saw it. I'm like, really? Like the Maple Leafs. She's like, it's Canada. I'm like, and
it was funny. I was looking at the baseball salute your troops hat this season. I like them because they're like that OD green color. And I was looking at them and I was like, I love the way they designed it this year, but they have this huge patch on the side that's like a crest, and it's red, white, and blue, and it has an eagle on it. But it's like massive. It's like the same size as the logo on the front. And I'm like, I wish it didn't have that.
Yeah.
And then I was going through and I was like, why do the Blue Jays not have American flag behind them? And I was like, oh yeah, because they're not American.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now, do you say Toronto or do you say Toronto?
Toronto.
Right. I got made fun of tonight by my kids and my wife for saying Toronto.
Why?
Toronto Maple Leafs. It's like, it's Toronto. I'm like, no, they don't say that.
No.
But yeah, no. Yeah. The way she saw it was DeSantis versus Trudeau. I'm like, yeah, but like the Maple Leafs have been around forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're a classic team.
Yep.
So anyway, this has been fun.
It has been. It was good.
I think we should outro people with the intro.
Nice.
How do I do that again? Oh yeah. Do you have anything left to say?
I'm gonna shoot you in the junk with the BB gun.
Goodbye, everybody.
Talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off.